Well, our ongoing series about helping you to feel better in life. We're here at HealthGAINS again, right here in South Florida, 15,000 square foot facility that helps men and women, by the way, high achievers and not so high achievers, get more energy, have more strength, more stamina, and it just improve their overall health. We're pleased to be joined by Galit, who's a physician assistant here at HealthGAINS. We're going to talk about hormone replacement therapy. Let's start with for women. What kind of things are you replacing for women?
So women also obviously have hormones just like men do, but we have different hormones than men do. We have similar ones. We have testosterone and estradiol, which men have as well, but we also, they fluctuate and they're different than in the capacity of men. Men testosterone levels are super high. Females testosterone levels are much lower, but we still use them for sexual energy. And progesterone has different effects in our body, and so does estradiol. So with women, when we replace them because, again, the process of aging and they start to decline, and estrogen specifically does a lot of very interesting things for females that it doesn't do for men. Estrogens, when they start having a deficiency in estrogen when they're premenopausal and postmenopausal, and it can cause them to have hot flashes, vaginal dryness. A lot of it can cause lethargy, so they start having a decrease in energy. They can have depression. So we go ahead and replace those levels to where they were previous to premenopausal, so they feel great.
Right.
That's what they did for me.
They did that for you?
And it's awful that women are suffering with this, and they go to sleep at night and they wake up drenching their beds, and they start having, decrease obviously in libido, and progesterone decrease can give them headaches. They can give them sleep disorders, and so they're, and weight gain, and so many symptoms, and they're living with it, and they're just like, okay, fine, this is my normal daily occurrence.
This happened to grandma, so this, obviously is happening to me.
Is there something that we do, men or women, that we take, that we eat, that decreases these hormones?
So obviously lifestyle makes such a big difference for us as humans, right? Because if we're eating right, we're exercising, we're taking care of ourselves, so we're gonna obviously reap the benefits. But unfortunately, there's only so much we can do as humans, right? We can eat right and exercise, but sometimes our genetic makeup obviously makes a difference. And also the fact that we are aging. There's no way to stop the aging process.
Right.
If someone could figure out the fountain of youth that we can just drink that water and stop the aging process, then what happens is that we have our chromosomes, right? At the end of our chromosomes, there's something called the telomeres. Those are at the end of our genetic makeup. And what happens every single year as we get older, those telomeres start to fall off. And once they do, there's
our telomeres are falling off.
Our telomeres are falling off. And that's how we age, and there's no way to stop the aging process.
Right.
So we have a way to optimize our health, and this is by bioidentical hormones.
Bioidentical hormones. Now, what happens, an age process for men or for women, when do you start this? For women, for example, when should you treat menopause? Do you start when you get the symptoms or before?
So honestly, for me, I always was trained to, just never to treat the labs, right? Always treat the person. So really, if you come in and you're symptomatic, and we're seeing it in younger men, we're seeing it in older men, we're seeing it in younger females and older females, right? So if and it's really our genetic makeup. Like some men don't have erectile dysfunction until they're 55, 60, or even later on in life, and some start at the age of 30. So it really just depends when you're starting to have the symptoms. If you're starting to have these symptoms early on, you come in here, we do a blood work on you, and we see what your levels are, and based on your symptoms, we come together with a plan.
Right. So you can find women or men
absolutely,
who
all
are
ages.
who are probably going to begin this process.
Right.
So let's get to it before it starts.
Absolutely. Right. So what happens is that when we're younger, when we're 20 or 30 years old, our body's own reason for existence is to reproduce, right? So we're here to reproduce. That's what our body's saying.
Right.
So when we're 20 and 30, our hormones are raging, right? You can be 19 years old, you can eat whatever you want, you can have sex 3 times a day. Sex allowed to be said? Yeah, we can speak about sex.
We can say so.
And we have tons of energy, we can go out, we can, and then we recover immediately. The next day we feel great again, right? So those are the level of hormones that we have in our bodies, because our body's own reason for being here is to reproduce.
Right.
Once we are not in our reproductive years anymore, our hormones start to decline, and that's when we start feeling all the symptoms of decrease.
Man, I keep hearing about the thyroid. The thyroid is an important element for all of us. You're talking about weight gain and things of that nature?
Right. So our thyroid gland is located right over here behind our Adam's apple. And thyroid specifically has to do with metabolism and energy. And that is a hormone as well. And hormones drive actions in our body. And as we get older, all our hormones start to decrease. And thyroid is one of them as well, our thyroid hormone.
So you can help us with that as well.
Absolutely. We optimize you in a whole year.
Man, I imagine you have a lot of couples that come in, do you?
Oh, it's so great when couples come in because there's nothing better than doing something with your spouse. First of all, as we know, I mean, I've been married before. When you do something together with your spouse and you optimize your health together, which is even exercising or going to work out together or eating right together, when you have a partner that you're doing this with, it just works so much better.
Yeah.
So as we get older, both of our hormones are decreasing, yours and mine and yours. So let's optimize them together so we can make our sex life better, right? Because if one person has it and he has a greater libido than you do, and then he wants to have sex all the time and you don't because you have vaginal dryness and you have hot flashes and you're tired and you're just not feeling energetic, then it's going to cause obviously friction in the relationship.
Right.
So if you're doing it together, it's amazing because then you can have that emotional, physical,
Right.
and mental
Right.
relationship.
I
So,
I also hear a lot about HGH. What is it, and what are the benefits of HGH?
so growth hormone is actually, I like to call it the Superman drug. Superman, you feel absolutely amazing when you take growth hormone. Growth hormone is, testosterone also does that, but growth hormone really, when we're younger, our growth hormone levels are the highest, probably from the age of like 12 to 15, because growth hormone deciphers how tall we're going to be. So we have a lot of growth hormone in our body.
Right.
Once our growth plates close at the age of 16, we don't have so much growth hormone. We do, but growth hormone specifically starts to decline, right? And so when that declines, growth hormone is really good for cell rejuvenation. It helps us with, gives us the best REM sleep, and REM is rapid eye movement. So I actually
that's so important.
I did growth hormone like just recently. I just started a couple of weeks ago, and I had the best sleep of my life. And vivid dreams, and it's just so great. It helps with also cell regeneration, so people who recently had surgery.
And
gives you
healing
energy,
yourself. It just
energy, muscle mass. Growth hormone is an amazing hormone for our body, and it makes you feel great.
We're here with Galit, who's a physician assistant here at HealthGAINS, right here in South Florida, and they help men and women of all ages who are, well, some of them are overachievers, some are higher achievers, some are executives who think their life is too busy and too hectic and they can't get it back on track. And they don't know how to calm down, they don't know how to sleep well, they don't know how to get their diet on the right track, and you help with all of those things.
But what they blame it on is because we're stressed. I just saw a patient right now.
It just
and he
improves the quality of life.
The multi-million-dollar business, and he's like, and I literally just came out from a consult with him, and he's like, it's because I'm so stressed, and I'm like, it's not because you're stressed. Yes, the stress definitely causes it, but look at your hormones.
Right.
You have zero testosterone, not zero, but literally 150.
Low.
Your DHEA levels are low. Your estradiol, everything is not optimized. Your growth hormone level is super low. If we optimize that, you're going to feel amazing. Yes, your stress levels are going to be there, but you're going to be able to tolerate everything. We're also helping you with mental fogginess throughout the day, which is something so common that all of us feel with age, right? You're like, what was that? I can't remember. So all of that is hormone related. So you feel amazing externally and internally.
No doubt about it. My ability to recall things are so much greater now than they were 5 or 6 years ago
it's incredible.
before I found HealthGAINS. I was not, when I do the football games for the Dolphins, and there's a number and a name that I sit there all week memorizing all of them. I think, wait a minute. But now it's more instantaneous.
It comes to you quicker.
And it's all because it's all because the hormones are being replaced now.
Optimized.
Yes.
Optimized.
And the one thing I want to tell everybody is that when you come in here, it's very comfortable. They're very calming. They're very helpful. Much like Galit, just terrific people.
We're very open.
Yeah.
We talk freely about everything.
Yeah.
Nothing is taboo.
No, you can ask anything, and they're
Everything.
cool with it.
We talk about erectile dysfunction, like we talk about your high blood
And they
pressure.
want to
Right.
they want to know all about your medical history.
Cause,
It's just
because it's the only way to get it right, and they'll take all the blood work and give you the exam to make sure they know every single health issue that you have, and talk to you about your normal doctor visits as well, and see if there's any reports that they might need to be aware of, so they can get you on the right track, get it all better, and make you the best person you can be, no matter what age you are. The oldest person that you have treated.
I would have to say probably in the 80s.
Right.
I've had an 85-year-old that wants to have better sex life, and I think that's great.
oh, that's so wonderful
Man-
to
It's
hear.
awesome.
Man or woman?
It was a man.
God bless him. I got to tell you, isn't that just terrific?
Listen, they keep on getting older, and they keep on getting older, and the girls keep on getting younger. So.
Hey, Galit, thank you so very
My
much.
pleasure.
Thank
Again,
you
it's
so
HealthGAINS
much.
right here in South Florida. We'll be back with more of HCA East Florida's Eat District That Go, presented by the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, and presented live by
History Miami Museum.